10 countries that hate the US the most. Public opinion alone does not dictate foreign policy. However, a country's perception of another country can have a meaningful impact on foreign policy decisions that both governments make. Keeping global approval ratings of the US high strengthens what is called soft power, which captures how diplomatic goals can be accomplished without military force. Here are countries that hate USA the most. 10. Slovenia. A majority of Slovenian survey respondents said they did not approve of US leadership. Despite the country's status as a major ally in NATO and a member of the EU, Slovenia's disapproval rating of 54% was the 10th highest of the 135 countries reviewed. Like several other countries disliking the US, Yugoslavia, which included Slovenia, once had close diplomatic ties to the Soviet Union. Many residents have likely not forgotten the tensions during the Cold War. 9. Tajikistan. Disapproval of the US rose from 39% in 2013 to 54% in 2014 in this primarily Sunni Muslim, landlocked Central Asian country. Tajikistan's perception of the US was not alone in suffering last year. Approval of the EU also fell 15 percentage points to 32%, and approval of China slipped 11 percentage points to 61%. The US and Russia are competing to provide what Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Central Asia Daniel Rosenblum described as security cooperation with Tajikistan. Tajikistan is one of 17 countries, 6 of which are former Soviet republics, in which the majority of respondents approved of Russia's leadership. 8. Austria. Disapproval of the US rose 9 percentage points from 2013 to 55% in 2014 in this Central European country, which was once the seat of power for the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Following its defeat in World War I, the empire was split and Austria became a smaller republic. It was annexed by Nazi Germany in 1938 and then occupied by the Allies at the end of World War II in 1945. It joined the EU in 1995. US officials have been critical of Austria for continuing to trade with Iran and North Korea and for permitting the wanted leader of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, PKK, to leave Austria. 7. Egypt. While the US and Egypt both belong to the UN, IMF, World Bank, and WTO, and have been trade partners for many years, 58% of Egyptians disapprove of US leadership, the 7th worst rating among countries reviewed. Egypt is the most populous country in the Arab world and a key ally of the US in its effort to fight terrorism and promote stability in the region. The disapproval rating remained flat since the ousting of democratically elected President Mohamed Morsi. 6. Iran. The US and Iran's deep dislike for one another spans many years. In 1953, the CIA helped oust Iran's Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh to prevent the country from supporting the Soviet Union. Once leadership was secured under America's favored ruler Reza Shah Pahlavi, Iran grew powerful with vast oil revenues and US weapons. However, the Shah had to later flee to Egypt amid the growing Iranian Revolution, which opposed the Shah's anti-Islamic and westernizing government. In 1979, Iranian revolutionaries seized the US embassy in Tehran, taking 66 Americans hostage for 444 days. 5. Pakistan. Pakistan's disapproval rating of US leadership is greater than all but 4 other countries. According to the US State Department, Pakistan has received well over $4 billion in civilian assistance from the US from 2009 through 2013. In addition, the country has received about $13 billion from the US in military aid over the past 13 years. America's involvement in the country may actually be the problem, however. The US focused its operations in Pakistan after the 9/11 attacks, and it continues to maintain a strong presence in the country to combat terrorism. 4. Lebanon. A religiously diverse Middle Eastern country, 54% Muslim and 41% Christian, Lebanon is one of 15 countries in which a majority of respondents disapprove of US leadership. It is also one of 11 countries where a majority disapprove of the EU leadership, and one of 8 countries in which a majority disapprove of Germany's leadership. Since the end of the 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war, Congress has approved more than $1 billion to improve Lebanese security forces' control over the country and foster economic growth. 3. Belarus. As in several other former Soviet Union countries, many Belarus residents may still harbor dislike for America as a result of tensions during the Cold War. Further, the US backing of Ukraine after Russia's annexation of Crimea may have exacerbated ill will toward the US in Belarus, as it did in other countries in the region. The country is still friendly with Russia, as about 62% of Belarus respondents approved Russia's leadership, up from 46% in 2013, the largest such increase among countries reviewed. 2 Palestinian territories. The 72% disapproval rating of Palestinians toward the U.S. improved somewhat from 2013, when 80% disapproved of U.S. leadership, the worst rating at the time. The U.S. government has stated it favors a two-state solution to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. However, perceptions among Palestinian territories residents will likely not improve as long as the U.S. is perceived as fully supporting and aiding Israel despite its continued occupation of the Palestinian territories. 1. Russia. No country disapproves of America more than Russia, where 82% of survey respondents said they disapproved of U.S. leadership. This was also the worst rating from Russia in the history of the survey. While many Russians do not like America, residents of many other countries do not approve of Russia. The median disapproval rating of Russian leadership was greater than the median approval rating, the only country to claim this distinction. Thanks for watching the video. Do like the video? Do share the video with your friends if you like the video. Do subscribe to the channel.